Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Bug and I do a variety of mediocre arts and crafts, primarily paper crafts. Today I'm working in this junk journal. I have a full flip through of this junk journal that I will link in the description below. This is also a beta or a prototype for a series of junk journals that I'm working on currently that are all Little Golden Book. Now, today I'm just going to be putting some personal stuff in this journal and using it. So I have this bag full of random nonsense that I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to pull a few pieces out. I'm going to find us a page to work in. Let's see. I don't really do a lot of journaling, but I'm sure that I can use this for lists. I'm a list maker, so maybe I'll just make a list of some of the fun things that we did through the season. This particular junk journal started, I started putting it together, the construction of it, before Christmas. And so I have some things in here that aren't Christmas related. I do have some Christmas things too. I want to use some of this pink glitter tissue paper. I got this with for a Christmas gift. And then I'm going to pull a few other pieces out of here and use those just kind of at random. That, one of these. See what else. I'm going to grab a few of the littler bits here so that that's an oatmeal packet if you weren't sure. A Simon Says stamp. This one that I didn't use last time, maybe I'll go with those. All right. And you can never go wrong with a Keith Haring sticker. So I'm just going to go through these things, and it is much easier for me if I limit my supplies before I start a project. It's how I try to do other projects too, because, you know, we all have a hoard or a stash, even if it's small, and sometimes having all of the options is a little overwhelming. So I'm like a toddler in my brain. So I'm like, if I have 8 things or 10 things to pick from, it's much easier for me. So that's how I do. This is actually the tissue paper sheet, so I'm going to use that. Actually, maybe I'll use the tissue paper sheet for something more translucent. I'm going to use this green page. So, if y'all know, you probably know, every year I want to do Defemember, and every year I'm like, ooh, I got all these things to do. I did print out the list and a bunch of the freebies this year, and probably watched every single one of the videos, but really didn't have time to do it. Ideally, I would love to be able to go through all of the prompts before Defemember starts next year. I don't think that's going to happen. But I thought that I would put this in here anyway, because I have literally been carrying it around since they made the announcements in mid-November. Again, I didn't bring my fussy cutting scissors, just these giant ones. What? Oh, I did it. Oh, well, there we go. Gonna get one of those. I'm gonna do some of this. Let me grab some of this. So this journal has a wide spine and 3 signatures of 16 pages apiece. I did the math in the flip through, and you can see that video. I'll link it below, but I am doing less. I like a lot of pages, but I am going to do fewer. I'll probably do 10 or 11 instead of 16, which will significantly make it smaller. But then it'll also be like an attainable kind of more attainable goal to fill one in, in a season or a quarter, that sort of thing. It's the map of Iowa now. Okay, let's see. I am going to, of course, unclip it. I am going to use glue stick. I will probably, let me do a good bunch of gluing here. This is my favorite glue stick. It is the Tombow Mono adhesive glue stick. And this is the bigger one. This is 0.77 ounces instead of the I think it's 0.3 ounces. It's, it's wider too, so it fits better, or it's easier to hold for long periods of time. Like, you don't think about it, but if you're using that glue stick for an hour at a time, it's really not comfortable. This section is going to be covered up with that pocket that I made out of that envelope. I usually wouldn't have a paper go over into the next page, but since this is tissue paper, I'm not going to worry about it, and I just kind of like the look a little more. Anything thicker could potentially impede the folding of the pages, so that won't be an issue here. Here is my thrift books envelope, and just to make it easier for myself, I'm just going to glue this whole thing in. It started as an envelope, so now it is a pocket. Let's see. I usually wouldn't glue right on top of the book, but since we are trying to stay on screen, I am obsessed with thrift books. If you don't know about thrift books, I will have a friend link down in the description. Of course, it's not a affiliate link, but it is a link where I get like a reward if you use the link. But either way, you need to do it. I suggest that everyone check it out if they are into junk journaling, old books, some antiques, but mostly just for standard used books. It is amazing, and after you earn a certain amount of points, you get, a free lower priced book. So I think it's great, and I use them a lot. And I also, this is one of those things where, like if I'm at the store and I see a book, or even at the thrift store, I will look it up on Thrift Books, see what they charge for it, and how often they have it in stock if it's not in stock at the time. And that's how I determine what the actual going rate is for a used book, instead of having to look things up on eBay and look at sold comps and all of that sort of thing. they have different prices for different, you know, if you have the same book, different publication dates in different different quality, then it can help you with all that. Know the different rates or the different prices. Let's see. I'm going to put this in here because, of course, I did some Simon Says Stan. This is an old code, but I did some Christmas. I did one of the Tim Holtz classes. I did the watercolor one, so I'm going to put that in there. Not going to use the oatmeal packet today, but I will use it another time. I think I'm going to go ahead and just put this right here. Maybe I'll put it here for now and then decide later. I'm just going to load up this pocket. So I have a couple of other things. I've got this little guy who I've been holding on to. I used him on one of the makes for my journal series. Or the packet of stickers that I got, rather, they were all different, but he's one in particular that I thought was super cute, so I held on to him for myself. And I'm just going to glue this over here. This is a cut. I think these I did make it. They must over. Breathe. Got a little squirrely there. Over 10 years ago, I cut these from the Cricut, and I can just tell because of the color of the cardstock and stuff that's when it was done. And it's just been kicking around in my house for a long time. I used to have yearly card making parties, invite, you know, people over to just hang out and glue a bunch of stuff together. Let's see, what else have we got here? I thought that was going to look really cool, and it just does not. But look, it comes off. I did glue this with a glue stick, but I'm also going to throw some staples in here. I like a little texture from the staples. Oh, I didn't even cut this off. I didn't even finish cutting. I'm just going to do this. Don't tell anybody. About that. Woohoo! There we go, guys. That's all I've got for you. There is my spread, and if you liked it, please interact with this post. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.